Schema is something that can be especially helpful for local SEO. So I want to talk about what Schema is, how to actually test for it on a website that you are working with, and then how to actually go about adding it to your site if you don't already have it. Schema is actually a collaboration between the major search engines, Google, Microsoft, and Yahoo, and they help describe the data on your website. And it also helps search engines not only understand your website, but it affects how they display your website in search results. So, for example, if you have a website that displays reviews, if you have multiple locations, or if you're dealing with a local business that has events locally, even testimonials, and there's a whole lot of different types of page markup that Schema can help search engines display in their results. But just to be clear, Schema itself isn't really one of Google's ranking factors. But what is key here is that it can help your site display differently in search results. So, as I mentioned, if you display reviews on your website, if your website appears third for a particular keyword, but you have that schema markup that helps the reviews show up in Google search results, it is definitely going to help your website stand out. That means that you may experience a higher click-through rate than some of the websites that display above you. So that is really where it can be most helpful. But we want to add schema to our website because this will help search engines identify the most important part of our website. And it's pretty easy to do, but we'll go ahead and we'll get into how to actually go about adding this to the website, and I'll let you watch me as I do this on the live website as well. Now, just because we use schema on our website does not mean that these rich snippets, whether it's about recipes or the testimonials, reviews, and so on, there's no guarantee that Google or the other search engines are going to display that information on their search results. But once your site has been indexed, they may go ahead and decide to do that. The only thing that you can really do to help this is to make sure that you've added schema and you've added it correctly. Other than that, it's out of your hands. You do have to rely on the search engines. Now, the good news for you is that most websites don't use schema, especially locally. So this really is going to give you an advantage over most of your competition. So this is something that you definitely want to take advantage of, especially if your competition hasn't. So if I'm working with an existing website, I want to take a look to see if the website already has schema implemented. And then I also want to check for any errors or anything that's missing. Now, Google has a structured data testing tool, and what you can do is you can either insert your source code directly into the box here, or you can click on Fetch URL, and you can type in your URL and click on the red button, Fetch and Validate. It's going to go ahead and scan your website, and what you'll see is on the left-hand side of your screen, it will pull all of the code from the URL that you gave them. On the right-hand side, it's going to tell you if schema is found on your website. Now, there's another tool provided by SignUp, and it actually will scan a website up to 300 URLs. So it's really helpful as it'll give you a full list of your website so you can see if certain pages already have the schema markup and if others don't. That way you can make sure that the ones that have it are done correctly, and if schema is not added to a particular page where you think it may be helpful, you can see that quickly and easily and go ahead and add it in. So you just throw in your URL, hit submit. As you can see, it'll do the scan and it will let you know. So now that you have an idea of what schema is, why you should add it to your website, and how to actually test to see if your website is currently using it, I'm going to go ahead and start adding it to the Live Long and Prosper website, and I'm going to let you look over my shoulder as I do that so you can begin adding it to your site as well.